So today's lesson is on trigonometry, so we're just going to try 3 questions, make sure that we know what we're doing with the general technique so far. So pause the video now and have a little go and see if you can find the length of side A. Okay, so with this first one, hopefully you've started off by labelling your triangle. So we know the hypotenuse is the longest side, and that's always opposite the right angle. We know the adjacent is the one connecting the right angle and the angle given, so that's adjacent, and the opposite therefore is the remaining side. At this point we then start to look at what we know from the information given. So we know the opposite, and we're trying to find the adjacent, and that's how we know which triangle to use. So if we have opposite and adjacent, the triangle that contains that information is this one over here, so that's what we're going to use. So we then continue by thinking, okay, we're finding the adjacent, we cover up A, which leaves O over tan theta. So this is what the formula triangle tells us to do. Then we sub the numbers in, and then we just type that into our calculator. And that gives us 5.64. The units are centimetres, and we've rounded to 3 significant figures. So on to question 2. Remember to start with your labelling, pick the correct formula triangle, and then find the formula from that. So here we have our labelled triangle. So we've got the hypotenuse being opposite the right angle. We've got the adjacent, which connects the right angle and the angle given. Opposite is the remaining side. And I've highlighted the opposite and the hypotenuse because I know the opposite and I'm trying to find the hypotenuse. So now when I'm going to choose my formula triangle, I'm looking for O and H, and that one comes up in this sine triangle here. So I'm trying to find the hype, so if I put my thumb over the H here, it's opposite over sine theta. Sub the numbers in again, and then type it in. Units are centimetres, and again we've rounded to 3 significant figures. Nice, one to go. So third question, start with your labelling, pick your formula triangle and go from there. So here's my labelled right angle triangle. I know the opposite and I know the adjacent this time, so the triangle I'm going to choose is tan. So this time, as I'm trying to find the angle, I'm basically putting my thumb over tan theta, and it tells me that it's opposite over adjacent. So now I'm at this stage, but I don't want to know what tan theta is, I want to know what theta is by itself. So I have to do an inverse of tan, which we write as tan to the minus 1, put the fraction in brackets, and then I can access this button here on my calculator by doing shift tan. And that gives me an answer of 21.8. This time it's degrees because it's an angle, and again that's to 3 significant figures.